So what do you do with a duck now that you've shot it? You've had a successful day in the field, you've got some game to take home, and now what do you do with it? There's a couple of ways to deal with birds. One is to skin them and just discard the skin along with the feathers. Very fast, but it's a waste of some calories. If you're counting calories and you're trying to get as much food value out of the game as possible, it's definitely worthwhile to pluck them instead of skin them. Skinning them leaves some calories behind and also leaves a lot of flavor behind as well. So ideally I prefer to pluck. The fastest way to pluck waterfowl is to submerge the entire carcass in just under boiling water, so very hot water. So I'll boil the water and then I'll take it outside, or if I boil it outside I'll just let it cool for a minute and then I'll dunk the birds in. Ideally with a duck you want 20 to 30 seconds of dunking time, and that will loosen the feathers right up. And how you know, you pull a feather, try to pull the feathers out like I'm doing here, and if it doesn't come out very easily, then it needs a little bit more dunking, and typically it's because the water's not getting in underneath the feathers. The feathers have oil in them that make them waterproof and head buoyant, and you're going to want to get the water underneath that and right underneath the down. So really swish it around in the water, and you'll know it's perfect. You'll know it's done by the color of the skin. You'll see it turns yellow here. It's not white any longer. It's got a bit of a greasiness because the water is rendering the fat, and the feathers will actually brush right off. You can just kind of slide your hand across and they'll wipe off instead of having to grip them and pluck and pull. So that's how I prefer to process waterfowl and even chickens. It does make the job a lot quicker, a lot easier, and get a nice clean job like this at the end. So if I was plucking this bird in the field, which of course is a lot nicer to do while you're out there in the bush, you can leave all the feathers and entrails there for the other critters, but for transportation you do have to leave a full wing on for identification purposes for the game warden. This wing, if that was left on the bird during transportation, a conservation officer will be able to identify that as a male mallard. So they want to be able to check, make sure you're staying within your limits for species. So in this case I'm making duck confit, and I'll put the recipe on the website as well as why you would use confit for preservation method. But the first thing I do is I break the chicken down into small pieces so that it'll sit flat in a pan, and then I put it in a plastic bag with these ingredients. So you can vary the ingredients, and in this case I have garlic, juniper berries, cedar, and thyme, and then salt and pepper. So after 24 hours of marinating, take the pieces, put them in a flat pan, pour the rendered duck fat over top of it, completely submerged if possible, and stick it in a 200-degree Fahrenheit oven for 6 or 7 hours until the meat falls off the bone. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the website to see how I incorporate wild game into a sustainable and self-reliant lifestyle and diet.